Hi, and welcome back to Pinky Boo Hauntings. I'll be your witchy host, Shy, and I'll be your guide to all things paranormal, weird, and spooky. Well, guys, how are we doing? Things are certainly insane right now, aren't they? I know it might seem hopeless, and we're all tired of this madness, but please try not to give up hope, and definitely don't stop fighting. That's how we lose. Right now, we're in the part of a bug's life where we are the ants, and we got to remember that the grasshoppers need us, not the other way around. I always loved that movie. It, along with a lot of the other ones I grew up with, all reminded me that as long as we stick together and never give up, we don't lose. And hey, try to remember when a rat is cornered, it fights for its life. So keep that pressure on that rat. I know I'm mixing metaphors, but you know what I mean. Also, if you're a witch, you know what to do. I'm so tired of this place right now, so why don't we forget about it and visit the paranormal world instead? Maybe it will help us all recharge a little, because if you get too tired and worn out, you can't keep fighting, right? So let's get on to our first one. It's called Haunted Room at the Don CeSar Hotel. Around 2004, I took my then fiance to the Don CeSar for an extended weekend getaway. This is a very old hotel that was used as a mental hospital for some years after its initial heyday as a grand resort. After that, it was vacant for some time before being renovated and reopened as a hotel. So I wanted to look this place up because I didn't realize I actually knew this hotel. I just didn't know it by this name. I just always thought it was called the Pink Palace. Also, I can't believe this place was a mental hospital at one time. Should I do a deep dive on this place? Because I didn't even know this place was haunted. I am highly allergic to cigarette smoke and had reserved a non smoking room. Oh my god, do you guys remember this shit? That if you didn't want to pay for other people's bad habits, you had to make sure you got a non smoking room. I remember when my parents would get annoyed when we had to stay in one of those rooms. I'm so happy that shit isn't the norm anymore. It's better for everyone. Sorry for that tangent. Let's get back to the story. Although we arrived after check in time, our room was not ready. We were invited to wait at the bar and were comped some cocktails while we waited. After about 45 minutes, the concierge came to us and told us our room was ready. We get up to our room, and as soon as I walk in, I could tell someone recently smoked in here. I immediately began having an allergic reaction, and I told my future wife not to even unpack, and I would go to get another room. See what I mean? Smokers might be pissed about how things are, but again, we all shouldn't have to pay for your bad habit, especially someone that is allergic to it. I went to the front desk and told them there was a strong cigarette odor in the room, and we would not be able to stay in it. My message was relayed to the manager on duty, and he came out to speak with me. He seemed to really, really want to keep me in that room they had given me, offering to treat it with air and carpet refreshers, but I explained that it was a medical issue and I had to have a non smoking room. We ended up waiting another 45 minutes or so while another room was being prepared. Wait, I just realized that maybe that cigarette odor could be paranormal. Though maybe not, because he did have an actual reaction. I don't think phantom smoke smells could do that. The manager is just being sus already. I was pleased when we got to it. because the room offered a lovely view of the water and beach, and there was no discernible trace of cigarette smoke. Never mind, maybe he just didn't want you to have the nicer room. He was being suspicious, just for a less paranormal reason, probably. There was a ceiling fan in the room controlled by a wall switch, with settings for 3 speeds and off. Before we went to bed, I had set the fan on the lowest speed. Around 2 a.m., I awoke with a feeling that something was amiss. The air conditioner was running, but the room felt much colder than it should have, and the ceiling fan, that had been slowly turning when I went to sleep, was now turning as if it was on high. My fiance was sleeping through all of this. One thing that kind of annoys me about experiences is that a lot of the time, which is why I'm always happy when others see the same thing or experience the same shit as me. It's like the paranormal wants you to feel crazy. Well, I guess some things do, but you know what I mean. But as I lay there on the bed, the ceiling fan begins turning faster and faster. It got to the point that it was turning so fast, it seemed it would break loose and go spinning away. Finally, I got out of bed and turned it off. But even after turning it off, the fan kept running at breakneck speeds. I went back to bed and began silently praying in opposition to whatever was causing this fan to run. As I prayed, the fan began slowing down, even though it was still turned off, and I fell asleep. When I awoke, it was daylight and the fan was not running. We began getting showered and dressed, and I made no mention of the ceiling fan to my fiance. I mean, I don't blame you. You probably felt crazy at the time. While I was in the bathroom shaving, I distinctly heard a voice from the other side of the bathroom wall yell, "Get me out of here!" I later checked to see if there was another room abutting the bathroom of our room, but there was not. Man, whoever that was really was messing with you, huh? I don't really know what to say about this. It's weird for sure. And I do believe some of the most haunted places are hotels, hospitals, and nursing homes. Because all three of those places have a lot of souls that pass in those buildings. Oh, you know what I forgot? That this place was also a mental hospital. So, yeah, this place was 2 out of the 3, technically. That actually makes a lot more sense why you'd hear, "Get me out of here." Yeah, that place had no chance but to be haunted. Oh, and you know what? Maybe I was right the first time about the manager, except it wasn't about the first room, but the one you ended up in. They didn't want you to experience anything in there. Now, let's move on from this hotel and onto a possible haunted house. This one is called Is My House Haunted? Or is it a poltergeist? Or am I imagining it? It seems to be slowly escalating. Not sure what to think of this, but I'm pretty convinced there's something here in my house. Background: my house was built in 1970. I live in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Oh shit, I didn't realize this one was in Florida too. I had to go look and see if the Pink Palace was in the same city, because it would have been funny. It's not, by the way. It's a 2 bedroom, 2 bath, single story bungalow, 1,300 square feet. Damn, this is kind of feeling like a listing right now. I'm the fourth owner so far. I live alone. I'm engaged. My fiance lives overseas for the moment. No kids. It was completely renovated a few months before I bought the house 4 years ago. 3 years and 8 months. I know it was used as a rental for a while too. This might be mean, but I really don't like the way they type this out. It feels so cold and just all details, no fun. Alright, guys, we're about to deal with the list. I'm sorry. 1. This was the first thing I noticed. About 3 weeks after I bought the house, when I go to bed every night, I close the door to my bedroom. The event, sometimes, rarer now, I'll wake up in the morning and the bedroom door is locked completely, but enough where I can't open the door. 2. Second thing I noticed, that feels redundant, started about 6 months after moving in. I usually exit my house through the door to my garage. I never deadbolt or lock it because the garage doors are all locked tight and my washer and dryer are in it. The event, sometimes when I go out the door, it'll slam the door frame behind me. When I look back to see why, the entire deadbolt has been turned out slamming against the door frame. I don't know how to explain this, but this dude feels like an accountant. With how they type this out, it's just so straightforward and boring. How do you make paranormal experiences sound bland? 3. This started happening about 2 years ago. My house has a very low pitch attic. There is about 3.5 feet of space between me, and it's constantly crisscrossed by trusses. No room to store anything. On rare occasions, about 3 to 4 times a year, the event, I'll hear a ka-thump, ka-thump, ka-thump of someone walking above my ceiling, up and down the house. 4. This started just recently, about 3 to 4 weeks ago. Happens about twice a week. I'm just starting to notice a pattern. My living room and kitchen, open concept, are next to the garage. My living room has a bay window with ice glass. Lots of people walk dogs, and run on my street. The event, occasionally, I'll see a shadow go by my window of what seems like a person. I'll get up to see who it is. In every case except for one, there's no one there. The street is empty. The shape is like a brief shadow, varying distances. Creepiness increased a lot below. 5. This one started happening 2 Christmases ago. I was never a set up Christmas lights guy. I'm not surprised you sound boring. Sorry, that was kind of mean. But I do not trust anyone that doesn't want to put up Christmas lights. It might be a lot of work, but it's so worth it. But I decided I should do at least something. So I went to Target and bought 10 candles that you plug into an outlet below each window. I got the cheapest ones, no timer, because I only have 7 windows. Takes a minute to plug them all in for the whole house. The event, every single night. The candles turn themselves on, one at a time. At precisely 7 p.m. on the dot. At 7:01, they were all on. Then, at precisely 6 a.m., they would all turn off, one at a time. 6:01 a.m., they were all off. I immediately took them apart. Nothing but a light, spring, battery connectors, a power cord, and a bulb. I originally installed them at 5 p.m. on the day I put them on. Last Christmas, I was too spooked to put them out again. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that actually is pretty weird. 6. This happens infrequently. It's pretty random. Sometimes it's 4 times a week. Other times it doesn't happen for 2 months. It started almost immediately after I moved in. It always happens at night, in the dark. The event? My bed will shake when I'm lying in it. It'll shake side to side. Not much, just a half an inch or so, but it's immediately noticeable. It feels like a kid shaking the mattress to get a parent to wake up. Just being able to move it a little bit. Oh, you know what? I was gonna say just a minute ago, but didn't because I was gonna say something mean again. But this was starting to make me think it was a kid messing with him. It lasts for anywhere from 30 seconds to 3 to 4 minutes. It also usually only tends to happen when I play my rain machine. If I put my TV on, it never happens. So clearly the kid doesn't like the rain machine and wanted to watch some TV. 7. This has only happened 3 times. All of them in 2025. I sleep on my side because of a back injury I've had in the past. Left or right side, doesn't matter, but usually on my right side. The event, I felt a weight on the mattress because I can feel it push down, causing a space between my leg. Kind of like a 20-pound medium sized medicine ball is being placed there. It lasts a few minutes and my legs go cold. 8. This has only happened 1 time. It was in conjunction with both of the 2 events above this one. It happened in December 2025, mid-December, at night about 9 p.m. The event? I was using my rain machine. Then a few minutes later, I felt the bed start to do its shaking. Then I felt the weight give away under my legs, and then it got cold. Then came the growl. It was quick. If I had sneezed, I would have missed it. It was only for 2 seconds, like a dog growl, deep and throaty. I turned on my light, walked around my house, then I slept on the couch. What do you all think? Now, I'm sure with that last experience, people are going to jump right to demon, but I'm sticking with my gut feeling. This really just sounds like a kid having fun and messing with an adult. I know the growl could be really scary, but kids do shit like that sometimes. Not really to be mean, but just to play with you or get your attention. And with everything else, I'd say they're just trying to get your attention and have fun with you. But if you don't want to deal with any of it, try putting your foot down and telling them you're not okay with this, that they need to stop with the pranks and leave you alone. Just try to remember it does seem to be a kid, so be nice. You don't have to scream and yell at them like you're Zach Bagans. Alright, guys, let's move on to our last story because I don't know how to smoothly transition into it. The story is called The Scariest Shit Happened to Me Last Night. I was in bed last night, no lights were on, and my door was closed. Keep in mind, I was still awake, and I am absolutely positive it wasn't in my head. My door creaks open, it's pitch black, and I see a literal silhouette of a 7 foot tall man with no face whatsoever standing in the doorway. I started panicking, and then I noticed some sort of child's hand reaching for the light switch. So I got up, turned on my lamp, and the door closed like nothing happened. My family doesn't believe me. They say it's sleep paralysis, but I don't believe it. I wasn't asleep at the time. Nothing else has happened ever since I saw that. Any ideas? And what it could have been? That definitely wasn't sleep paralysis. With how easily you could get up and turn on the light, I promise that's not how it works. I've had sleep paralysis when I was a kid, and while you feel awake, it always feels off. Like you partly feel asleep and you can't move. Like at all. So this just doesn't sound like that. I really do believe you saw something. What? I don't know. but you should probably do some protections of some kind just to be safe. Even if these spirits are nothing bad, it can't hurt because you don't know what they're doing, and why wait to find out? I'm also sorry your family didn't believe you, but sadly, that happens more than it should. We believe you here, though. That's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed and didn't get too spooked. Oh, and please remember to stay strong, 'cause we'll come out of this better on the other side. Also, please rate and review the podcast. It really helps us grow, and now more than ever, we really need a fun, safe space to enjoy the paranormal. If you're on YouTube, do the YouTube things, of course. And if you have a paranormal story of your own, email it to me. The email will be in the show notes below. But for now, the coven is adjourned. See you next time. Bye.